can see, we have full access to their facility. They've even made some exceptions on their Wi-Fi network for us so that we can get to some of the social media outlets and some of the sharing and some of the GitHub and other stuff that you guys will be using throughout the weekend. And so they made that happen, and have really been instrumental in helping us along the way. We also got a grant from Uptown Columbus and from Omega Phi, and so we will have a few folks that'll be coming in tomorrow and Sunday from those organizations, and they really helped not only get us started, but make it really affordable to get our first one off the ground. So I really want to thank them. And then, of course, the Startup Weekend organization. This is Daniel, who you have met already, Daniel Johnson. And he is with Startup. He's done about 30 Startup Weekends, either participating or facilitating or doing something with them. And he has already been a tremendous help just in the last 2 days to get us started, and gave me, like, I was a wreck for 2 weeks trying to squeeze in time to make sure this would all run well and make sure that we had enough people and speakers and everything else. And then I talked to Daniel the other day, and he kind of talked me down from, from that height, and it was really nice. And then showing up today has really helped make everything go very smoothly. So you've given me a lot of levity, so this is great. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and introduce Daniel. He's going to come out and tell you what we're going to be doing the rest of the night.
Cool.
Right?
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks, David. So, just out of curiosity, who's this their first startup weekend? So everybody except for 1, 2, 3, 4 people. So congratulations. So David,
we're the 4 people that had to go to one before we could hold one.
Yep. So what you're going to experience this weekend is pretty fun. I've done about 30 of these different events, and it's not because I have that many ideas. That's not the case at all. I'm not that smart. But there's something special that happens whenever there's a room full of people like yourself that are driven, you want to do something, you want to accomplish something, and you're sharing ideas in a very safe environment. It's going to be a safe environment because we're going to support each other. It may not be the safest environment because we're going to put some pressure on you to get stuff done. In these 30 or so weekends, I've seen the gambit of ideas. I've seen a 7-year-old girl be the first person in a startup weekend to generate revenue. So if during this weekend you're like, well, I'm not ready to take anybody's money, you know what I'm going to tell you? I'm going to call bull on that because I've seen a 7-year-old do it. I've also seen a team generate $5,000 in one weekend. The goal is to test as much as you can, try it out, do something, and then see if you can launch the business. And the hardest thing that constantly happens is the idea of taking money from somebody. For some reason, we don't like taking other people's money. This weekend, we're going to try to take it and take tons of it if you'll play along. So I'm here as an extension of the organizing team. David, Kat, and some other people have been working behind the scenes for months trying to put this event on. And it's great that your startup ecosystem is doing this. A lot of communities don't have an opportunity to do this. So see them, thank them, give them a pat on the back, send them an email later on. And then they always make us do things in threes whenever we do these. So you'll notice that I'll talk with my hands. That's not because I'm Italian or anything like that. I talk with my hands because I'm also fluent in American Sign Language. It comes in handy whenever I'm in a bar and I know a deaf person that's ordering a beer, and I'll be like, I'm not waiting 7 people in line, and I'll ask them to order a beer. Outside of that, it doesn't come in too handy, but it's still a pretty fun fact. So whenever I come to these events, and I work with a lot of entrepreneurs in a lot of different cities, anytime you read a startup book, you'll hear this term from advisors and CEOs and people that have been there and done that, and they say, hey guys, you know what I want you to do? I want you to fail fast. I hate this term. I absolutely hate it because it's so negative. The first thing whenever you share their idea, they're like, hey, you know what I want you to do? I want you to fail with that, and I want you to do it pretty quickly. To me, that's not very supportive. So this weekend, we're not going to focus in on failing fast. That's not fair to you. It's not fair to me. We're going to generate some type of outcome with what we're doing, and we're going to do it pretty quick. So if I can make you take one thing away about what it is and what I'm into and the reason I'm here, is the only thing I want to do is I want to increase your speed to an outcome. Your outcome could be that first dollar of revenue. It could be that first key connection of a supplier or a vendor or someone you need to talk to. And then that outcome may be that, you know what, no one wants to buy your widget. No one wants to engage with your software platform. That's still an outcome, but we want to do it very quickly. So just keep that in mind. We're not going to fail fast. I hate that term. We're going to increase everybody's speed to an outcome. So you all aren't alone this weekend at all. Startup Weekend is a global event. So what you'll see in this map is you'll see Australia's throwing some. This weekend there's unfortunately not any in South America. Brazil is throwing a lot, and even Colombia has some. There's some going on in Mexico and throughout the United States. So you're not alone in what we're trying to do this weekend. What we're going to end up doing is we're going to put you through some methodology and some tactics and some methods so that you can figure out how to test an idea. And we're going to do it in a very safe environment. No one's going to get arrested. I've done 30 or some odd of these, and I've yet to have anybody get arrested. I have had people get kicked out of businesses before, which is absolutely hilarious, and I love those stories because it's okay to get kicked out. That means that you're ruffling somebody's feathers and you're doing something right. So what you're going through this weekend, we may actually talk to some of the people that are in Texarkana this weekend. I know the facilitator there, so we may reach out and see what other fun things that we can hear from other groups going on. One thing I would ask is if you're on social media, go ahead and use this hashtag for us so that later on we can see what you're doing and we can combine that and have some results and some nice pictures from that. So I mentioned some of the organizing team. If you're one of the organizers, can you go ahead and hold up one of your hands, even if you're not on the... So there's a couple of them here. Again, these guys, let's give them a round of applause. Again, these guys are working the back end. They're working with the facilities, making sure that you can come in and have a very nice experience. They're working with the food vendors. We're going to keep you very well fed this entire weekend. And they also worked with bringing in some of the coaches. But enough about that. You all ready to get moving on some stuff?
Yep.
All right, so here's what I need you to do. Does everybody have a pen?
I have a box of pens.
Go ahead. So here's what we're going to do.
Wandering around stations today going, what are we going to need?
You need a pen.
So,
It's like we're gonna be doing sticky notes.
Who needs pens?
Who needs a pen?
Up to you.
So the first thing I want you to do is I want you to transport yourself back to second grade. Your English and grammar class. So if I were to say what is a noun, what would a noun be?
person, place, thing.
Person, place, thing, or idea. You're actually the first person to share that idea part in all of these that I've done. Most people don't do that. So, and then I'm going to say what is an adjective? Describes a noun. So what's an example of an adjective? Pretty. What's another one? Pretty, funky. So I'm going to start passing out some Post-it notes, and what I need you to do is I need each person to take one color of each. One Post-it note of each. And on the green one, I want you to write out a noun. And you have about 10 seconds once you get these to write the first noun that comes to mind. And on the yellow one, put your first adjective. Yellow an adjective, the green is going to be a noun. First thing that comes to mind, doesn't matter. I'm ready to collect them. You might need a particular color of one. You all need yellow. Move quickly. We got. All right, everybody got them? All right, and then pass them down to this end. Pass them to this end. Yep. Pass them to your right. And keep them color separated for me. That saves me a step. Pass them to your right. See, you didn't know you'd have a second grade. The first thing you'd be asked to do, besides clapping for somebody, is have a grammar lesson. Huh? No, have you seen the adult coloring books? Amazing.
About that. That's why I want to tell them.
Amazing. All right, so go ahead and pass them through. So the next thing that I need everybody to do, adjective on the green, noun on the yellow. Noun on the green, adjective on the yellow, sorry. Okay? All right, so now I need everybody to go ahead and stand up. And I need you to self-select into groups of 5. So 5 people, and you can't be on a group with someone that you've been with, that you know. So self-select into.
Away from us, Fred. I know you, though. I know you. I know of you.
All right, so go around, share your names real quick. In your group. All right, so once you're in your group, teams of up to 5, share your name, and I need you to get in a circle, facing each other. So what I need you to do now is I need everybody to take out their right hand. Take out your right hand, stand up. Take out your right hand and point. Point, not hold your hand out, thank you. And point at somebody in your group. And everybody needs to be pointing at the same person. And if you are said person that everybody... If you are said person that has all fingers pointing to you, raise your hand. This has it, this group. Everybody needs to be pointing at the same person. We've got a slow group over here. They can't figure it out. Got it? Got it? Congratulations. So we got you, the person who's holding your hand up, congratulations. You are now the CEO of your startup. Give yourself a round of applause. Okay, now CEOs, listen, because I am your one and only board of director with the ability to fire and hire and replace you, and write your paycheck and do whatever else that boards of directors do. I need you to come up here with me. So come up here. And your task. Come up. Yeah, the CEOs come up here. There should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now CEOs.
A lot more nouns and
Oh, well, here I am. Here, help. Yeah, let's delegate these. So CEOs, your one task, once we get all of these up, and these aren't sticking to this nice new flat paint that we have. Got it? Okay, CEOs, your job now is to pick one Post-it note of each color. You have 2 seconds. 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000. And go back to your group. One color of each. Grab and go, grab and go.
All right.
Now, new CEOs and teams of startups, you have one goal. In 5 minutes, you are to take these 2 words, whatever words those are, and you are to create an entire business off of it. So, for instance, if you had the words ice cream and cats, you may end up creating, my animations are going too quick, your startup idea, you pulled ice cream and cats, and then you create a business model off of it. I don't know how it works, but it may. So in the next 5 minutes, your goals are to share with us the problem in which your product or service helps, what pain are you solving, how you're going to make money, and then you're going to tell us what's different about so like a value proposition, and then you have to draw us a logo. So, problem you're solving, how you're solving it, and a nice logo. In 5 minutes, go. Ready?
What do you think?
I don't know how it's gonna look, but I tried to switch back and forth. You were moving all over the place.
Oh yeah, that's fine. No, that's great. That's great.
I have it up there and out there.
Nope.
And they're talking.
Nope, that's great. Yeah. See, it's pretty easy, isn't it?
Yeah. Let me jump on a team.
3 minutes. All right, 2 minutes, guys, 2 minutes. The problem you're solving, how you're solving it, and a nice logo. All startups have great logos. There's whiteboards on the wall if you need them. Yeah. One minute. 60 seconds. You got this. Problem, solution, a nice logo. Hopefully a great name. 30 seconds, guys. 30 seconds. Ten seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Markers up. Markers up. All right. All right. Are we ready? Ready for this? All right. All right. So here's what I need the groups to do. I need you and your group to grab your marker board. The first group that I want to come up is this one over here because you look eager and happy. So come on over here. And fair warning, I'm going to tell everybody that we're live streaming this.
That's right.
So all your fun will be on YouTube unless you tell us to take it down. So, all right, so here's what I need you all to do, guys, is the first thing you need to share with us is your, the 2 words that you were selected, and you can move up a little bit so you don't get the greenness of whatever's going on. Actually, I'll mute this. So you need to tell us what 2 words you had.
Our 2 words were.
Well, hold on. More directions.
You're good.
2 words, the problem, your solution, and then we want to see your great logo. But guys, if you've not figured out, I'm a big punctuality person. Like, we're going to do things on time this weekend because a lot to do it. And we don't have time to clap this weekend. We don't have yay, not everybody's getting an award this weekend at all. So here's what we're going to do to give each other energy all weekend long. We're going to do something called a power clap. And what we're going to do is we're going to count down from 3. And whenever we're done counting down, we're all going to clap at the same time. Now, I've got a question for, we're in Alabama right now? Is that where we are?
Technically, yeah.
Technically, we're in Alabama. I was told to fly into Georgia, then I get shipped to Alabama. Whatever, that happens. So in Alabama, do we clap on 1? Is it 3, 2, 1, clap? Or is it 3, 2, clap?
3, 2, clap.
3, 2, clap, or is it 3, 2? What do you all do here? Different cities do different
I told
things.
you I did 3, 2, 1 class, so I don't know what to do across the
Okay, 3, 2, 1, clap. All right. So we're going to give a power clap to this group right here, our first group to go tonight. In 3, 2, 1.
Okay. No,
You got-
I tried to go before you. All right, slow money. Those were our 2 words. Slow money. What was our problem?
A lot of money, you lose fast, easy come, easy go.
That's right. So we want your money to grow over time. We are Timberland Investments. All right, you get bigger rewards over time. And while you're waiting for your tree to grow, you can sell the scraps while you wait. So things like pine straw, and when you're thinning out the tree, there's a market for all of your scraps while you wait for your solid investment and your assets that last.
And
The logo is the snail with the dollar sign on
all right. Good job, slow money. Thanks. All right. Next group. Come on over. Okay, we get a power clap for this group. In 3, 2, 1.
All right, guys. The first 2 words they were basically the words that we have are super money, basically. So the idea that we came up with as a business for this, of course you can see the logo here, was basically an affiliate program. So in your MLM digital marketing network world, where you can come in, if you don't have a business, you can actually generate your own income and then invest it however you want it to be. There's actually a few platforms out there like that right now. So yes. So if you don't have a business, guys, if you want to start generating income online, you don't really know a lot about marketing, advertising, except the platform is already here. So you can actually go and advertise our company, pull in your own customer base list, and you'll be getting paid a commission off of it.
Cool, and share with us what your logo means.
Okay, so yeah, so it's kind of self-explanatory here. Basically, Super Money came up with, you see the logo here's the Superman emblem with the money sign in the middle. For the most part.
All right, Team Super Money. All right, next group. All right, power clap for this group in 3, 2, 1.
Hello, our company name is our 2 words for awesome president. And our logo here is basically a president doing like this. So basically we're a consultant firm to help like small business to medium-sized businesses become better presidents. So basically we make money off of subscription service. Basically like we provide like best practices as a president. We take all our knowledge from talking to many different CEOs and different presidents of companies and provide that information and knowledge that we have learned and gathered from analytics and practices to make you a better or an awesome president.
All right. Anything else?
We get data from the organization and we build insights and present to the clients and help them to make better decisions.
Better decisions with awesome president.
Yes.
All right, thanks. All right, you got 2 more groups. Who's next? All right. Power clap in 3, 2, 1.
All right, we are Blue Horse, and we are a online platform that connects contractors with qualified, certified workers. And this is what we are. This is our logo right here, horseshoe, Blue Horse, and that's us.
And what problem are you solving?
We're solving the problem of commercial contractors and residential contractors needing qualified workers to go out to complete jobs.
So instead of having to look for them, they come here to a directory. Vice versa, workers, directory, contractor.
Upload
Where
any
they can meet
video,
each
any
other.
certifications,
It's like Tinder for laborers.
and then
Swipe
Guys, we got our idea for the weekend.
That's
So then you take the contractors have reviews on the workers, and then the workers have reviews on the contractors. So if a contractor is looking for a qualified worker, then they go on there and see, hey, they work for these past 3 contractors and they're great or they suck, you know, and then you can kind of roll from there.
All right, thanks, Blue Horse. All right, now for our last group. Straight from the rear center of the room, making their way up. I'm filling the dead air so that we don't have any awkward silence. So, all right, power clap in 3, 2, 1.
Okay, the 2 words that we came up with, well, I picked up off the wall, was software strong. So our idea was to develop a software program that could be implanted as a chip into your arm, so that while you sleep, it'll get a workout.
I think the problem is self-defined, right? We all want to be buff, we all want to be strong. We ain't got time for that. So, if you could do it while you were sleeping, I mean, your audience is so there. You pop that in there, it's strong software, you know. It takes care of it for you. You work out, you wake up in a puddle of sweat, but boy, you're happy because you look good.
What happens if 2 people in the same bed have these devices?
Oh, it's
They
real.
can wear their, well, you can work out however you want to in your bed. If you work out that hard, you just gotta snorkel, you're good.
There you go. All right, team, sleep strong. All right, guys, give yourself a pat on the back. You did a great job. We went back to 2nd grade and had a little grammar lesson, which is pretty good. The big thing I want you to take away from this is that there's times you're gonna be pressured into making some quick decisions. Sometimes it's pretty fun like this. Other times it may not be. So that's just a quick little icebreaker. Just write it off. We had some fun. We got to know each other, and you all are actually a pretty fun group. I was not. You all are pretty funny, so pretty excited about that. So the next thing, or the next question I have for you all is, why are you all here? What do you want to get out of our 50 some odd hours together?
I want to make something really happen from this room.
Make something happen? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I want this to be the first in a long line of startup type weekends.
Do you want this to be the catalyst to have more fun, more things going on for those budding entrepreneurs?
Absolutely.
Okay?
Ditto.
I wanna change the world.
Change the world.
Yeah, make a dent in the universe.
All right?
I want to meet everybody.
There you go.
And provide music for you. I want to enjoy the
There you go.
world.
All right. What else? What else drew you out?
I want to see small business grow.
All of the job creation right now going on in the U.S. is small business. It's not big fortune companies at all.
It'd be nice to inspire people going forward from what they saw here.
Yep. Keep on going after the weekend. What about you?
I want young people to know that they actually can do this.
Yep. Like the 7-year-old that got her first dollar at one of the weekends I did.
I want to find my retirement idea.
Find it. Let me know when you
I
find
want
it.
retirement
I'll be
money
right there with you.
now, so that I can do whatever I want. So
Retire.
I have to get a lot of people that are smarter than me in the same room, and so this was a ploy. This is really like, I know how to get people together. Now I get smart people together. There we go.
What about you? I don't know if she had her hand up or not. Did you have your hand?
Sure. I want to see what kind of talent that we have in this area, basically in Columbus, Georgia, and cultivate that talent.
Cool. Did you want to say something? Oh, okay. I'm sorry, I thought you had your hand up. So the reason you all are drawn to an event like this is very similar to what we see in other communities. So the reasons people come out, they may want to find a co-founder for an idea that they have. They may want to grow their entrepreneurial ecosystem. They want to see if this idea that they've had on the back of the napkin that they've shared with their spouse and everybody else, and everybody's just upset that stop talking about it, start making something happen. We're drawn to these types of events for a lot of different reasons. I'm glad you all shared those, because that gives me a reason to walk up to you and say, hey, let me know how I can help. If you really want to make something happen, have more events. This is just one of a whole bunch of type of events that you can have. Startup Weekend is a pretty fun organization if you start thinking about it. We saw the one slide that there's about 20, 30 of these going on throughout the world right now. This weekend right now. There's another time of the year, there's a event called Global Entrepreneurship Week, and that is in November, and the weekend before and the weekend after, there's about 300 different startup weekends going on at the exact same time. It's a celebration of entrepreneurship. It's everybody pushing forward and trying to do the same thing, and there's a big competition for that one that you can actually win some money and some pretty interesting placements. So I've seen that big map be full of redness, especially in the US, where there's just one event after another. So you're joining, and I'll give you a little heads up, you're joining a big group of alumni. So put this on your LinkedIn page, mention it to people. The people that may be students in here or job searching, I always tell them anytime I interview somebody in the different lives that I've had, I don't care about that book report or that group project that you did in class. Everybody had that same experience. I want to see the passion that comes through whenever you tell me that for one weekend you hustled and you got something done, you learned what it took to launch a company and take those early steps, because your eyes change and your tone and the words that you use and the passion comes through. So if you do have an opportunity to leverage this for your job search, if you're a student looking for a job, by all means, share this, put it on LinkedIn. There's a whole bunch of volunteers. I don't get paid to do this. The guys that organize this don't get paid to do this. We do this because we believe in you. We believe that you can take an idea, what we're going to teach you this weekend, and put it into practice. Now, your outcome this weekend may be like, oh, I didn't search on Google and it turns out I'm creating the next marketplace where you can just go somewhere and it gets delivered to your house the same day or the next day, anything from spatulas to DVDs, and you do some research and, oh no, you just created the next Amazon. That's okay to have that type of outcome. But these people and the volunteers, we just believe in you enough to clear off our entire weekend, multiple days, weeks, and months before, because we want you to do something. It's happening in over 800 different cities, and each year, each month, each week, there's yet another city that, like Columbus, that has never hosted one of these, that takes that leap and says, you know what, we're going to put it out there, and hopefully we have 5 people that show up. You all, the 30 of you all that showed up, that's great. But the next one, we need 60, 100, and then 150 to show up, because we've got to share this with other people. So throughout the entire weekend, you're going to have some coaches that are going to come in. They're going to stop in twice during the weekend and just be a sounding board for you. There's going to be an opportunity for you to say, hey, Skip, I need to know somebody in X industry or Y company or X role or whatever it is. That's your opportunity to engage with them and see if they can help you. And these guys, I'll give you a little piece of, if you're one of the coaches this weekend, raise your hand. So 1, 2, we've got 3 of the coaches. So I'll just put you on the spot. If somebody were to send you an email 3 weeks from now and said, hey, you were one of my coaches throughout Startup Weekend, can we go grab coffee? What would be your response? Sure. And odds are, I'm not going to put you on the spot for this, but whenever people do that for me, I'm the guy, they ask me out to coffee, I know they're a struggling entrepreneur, I'm going to pay their $2, $3 coffee or tea or whatever it is. So don't count these guys off for for ending this weekend. You can usually contact them. And I'll let you another little secret. You can also contact coaches and mentors in other cities if you need their help. So if you have a big idea to go to Chicago and you find out that they did a startup weekend, or you go to Seattle that throws one every other weekend, you can contact those mentors and drop this startup weekend line, and they'll actually meet with you. It's a pretty interesting thing that happens. Now, one of the things that the event, your all's ticket costs were pretty low. That doesn't happen in every city. I've seen ticket costs as high as $119 because they don't have community support. So I was happily surprised whenever I heard of all the sponsors that came through. So the Community Foundation came through in a big way, right, David? Yeah. This is the largest sponsor that I've heard of that has stepped up to the plate, and especially for the first time of throwing this event. So if you are on social media, thank them. Whenever we do an event wrap up, be sure to thank them in one way, shape, or form. Troy, you heard before? This is yet less than a year old. So I've got one thing to say. Let's make sure that we can have another event here. So please don't trash it. Please be nice to it. If you decide to use a permanent marker on the dry erase boards, let us know. We've got a trick to get that off. But please take care of this space. And this doesn't happen a lot, they're letting us use the space for free, and they're giving us free reign of the building. So if you do have an opportunity to engage with them, maybe hear them out whenever they say, hey, we offer X, Y, or Z degree programs, hear them out, because if they're willing to invest their time, their new resource in you, that's a great asset for this entire community. And then we've got a couple of the other sponsors that have kicked in some cash, some in-kind sponsorships, including the Columbus Makers. So one of my backgrounds is I'm really interested in the maker community. So every time I go to a different city, I tour their maker space or their hacker space and stuff like that. And you all are about to have one come online that's going to be an asset to this community. And if you haven't visited there, go ahead and start visiting. Become members. And I'm a member of the one in Louisville, and it's amazing of the community that you'll have that will support you as you're trying to make whatever widget or do something. So keep these people in mind, thank them on social media. Nationally, Sprint kicks in some money for the person that sends me out and directs me and creates these slide decks. And then if you're interested if you're a coder, and I know there are a couple developers here, you're basically making money this weekend. So you have the opportunity to use a Google Cloud credit. It's $300 worth, which means that you can, for those that are technical, that means you can spin up your own server, you can do some different things. An automatic email will go out tomorrow morning letting you know about this one, and the free .co domain. So you have a couple of days, I think until Tuesday or Wednesday, to use the .co domain, so you can do ice cream making cats.com or not .com .co, and you can do that for free and you get it for a year. So take them up on that. Now, every single person gets one of these. So if you need your first name, last name .co, so you can have your own custom portfolio website and share that stuff, guys, it's free. Go ahead and do it for at least a year and see if you can get some traction on it. And then Eventbrite kicks us a little bit of a discount for processing ticket orders and stuff like that. So now for the like admin stuff, which is going to be really easy in this space. This is the first time, no, this is the second time in over 30 events. You all have run of this building for the entire weekend. That doesn't mean we can go spray paint and do graffiti or anything like that. That means that you want to stay here to 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, you can. The doors will open back. The security guard is here until midnight.
Yeah.
Until midnight, but then the doors lock, which means that you either need to exchange telephone numbers to get back in with your team, but don't prop the door open by any means. Don't do that. So you get free run of the space, so you can stay here, sleep here. I've had to sleep at facilities before to help the teams, and if you do decide to stay here all weekend long, I'll stay with you minus like a 2-hour nap that I'll take. So I'm in it as long as you all are in it. But if you all want to call it quits at 10, please don't do that. We'll totally call it quits, but you get free run of the building. Parking, ample enough parking. You're not going to have an issue with that. Some places there are. And again, this space is new. Please take care of it. Please watch your drinks and what you're doing, your food. Please try not to spill it. We're all adults here. Let's take care of this nice new facility that a lot of the colleges and universities would be extremely jealous of, and a lot of corporate places. Questions on the space? Bathrooms, just to let you know, are flanked on either side of the center of the building. Men is on one side, men is on this side, women is on that. Same thing through all floors. Food each and every time per the schedule, 9 o'clock, noon, 6 p.m. will always happen where we were eating together earlier. And there will be snacks and stuff put out throughout the entire weekend, and we'll just make sure that you know those. Questions on the space? And again, any of the organizers, me, will try to answer whatever questions you have with the space. Each of the rooms that you'll have access to do have projectors in them. The only thing we ask is do not log off the computer because somebody had to put in their information to keep it on the entire weekend. So don't log those off, but you can definitely use it to practice your presentations. This is the weekend schedule. We have a couple things in store for you. There's going to be some workshops, and these are all voluntary. We'd encourage you to work through them and come to them, or at least one member of the team, so that you can walk through the process. The key workshops are at 9:30 tomorrow, called Business Model Canvas. How long should a business plan be?
As long as it needs to be.
Okay, as long as it needs to be. What have you heard like lengthwise? Typical business plan.
It seems like it's about 3.
So it used to be 30 pages. Now it's down to 10 to 12. There's this new concept with startups, and a lot of investors are going to it, called the Business Model Canvas. And it is one single page.
Yeah, that's one I was
So that the talk at 9:30 is important. You'll get through some of it for this weekend, but that's a really good opportunity to think about, all right, how do I avoid or how do I delay writing a 30-page business plan? Do it with Post-it notes. We've got entrepreneurs in my city that their entire office wall is this blown up one-pager, and they move Post-it notes left and right as they test stuff. So that's an interesting one you can go to. There's going to be a workshop on lean startup is another thing that we do, and then there's going to be a pitch workshop on Sunday. Now, the only time that I really care about this entire weekend is I need to see you again at 1 p.m. and then at 2:30 p.m. we kick off the presentations to some judges. And that's your opportunity to showcase the hustle, the traction you've made. If you've made revenue, that's what's going on. This entire schedule is updated on the event website, which you should have. That's how you registered. It's all on there for future information. So again, only time I care about seeing you, because you're gonna have to hustle. When you see you for tech check, back in this room, and then at 2:30 we're gonna do the pitches. Questions on the schedule? Breakfast shows up at 9 o'clock. Bagels. It's not gonna be like eggs and stuff like that. What? No IHOP. I've never seen that one. No one's catered in like a hearty breakfast before. Maybe someday. And this thing quit on me. Oh, so here's what happens next. Our rest of the time together is all about you and the ideas that you have, minus a couple technicalities. So we're going to show you how to pitch an idea. Collectively, we're going to vote on them. We're going to talk about the ideas, whittle them down, because if everybody pitches in here, then we all can't work on each one single idea. We have to have a team around them so that we can hustle. We're going to form into teams, and then we're going to create this concept of a MVP. An MVP for the rest of this weekend is not most valuable player for the Braves or anything like that. It's called a minimally viable product. And that's a quick, and I'll share more with you on that, but it's a quick and dirty, easy way for someone else to understand what your business, your product, your service does. And I'll show you some tricks and hacks with that as my animations go. So, I'm going to share with you, don't have to get up right now, but I'm going to show you the pitch process. So what we're going to do is, actually, who thinks they're going to pitch an idea, just so I have an idea? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we got about 8 right now. I will tell you right now, I've had 3 events that 100% of the registered participants have shared an idea. And I like it when that happens because we're just feeding off of each other's energy. And I've also had it where people that were just observing, like the sponsors, also pitched an idea. And some of those ideas do move on. So my goal is to, if you're thinking about, well, everybody's going to think that's the dumbest idea ever, this is the safest environment you can ever share your business idea. I've never seen, I'll take that back. I have seen 2 ideas get laughed at, but it was just because of the nature of what they were talking about. So I'll leave it at that. But no one's gonna be like, hey, that's the dumbest idea ever, or hey, have you not searched on Uber for that? But it's a very safe environment. So you're gonna get in line. I'm gonna call for somebody to be the first presenter, and then I'm gonna call for somebody to be on deck. So that means that while the first person is pitching their idea right here, there's somebody else on deck that is sharing their idea and writing it down. And then I'm gonna constantly try to have somebody on deck so that we can keep the ideas flowing at a pretty quick pace. I'm gonna have an organizer. Actually, we're just gonna set a piece of paper over here, and what you need to put on your piece of paper is like the title of your idea. Ice cream for cats, Uber for car detailing, Uber for whatever, or if you have another idea. I need you to put that on there. You're gonna take your piece of paper, you're gonna hold it up in front of you, and then you're gonna share in 60 seconds what the idea is. We okay on that? So, this is whenever we start getting some questions. And I have to disclose all of these things because inevitably, come Sunday, somebody didn't pay attention and I have to be like, I'm so sorry, but you've been in business for 4 years and that's not fair to everybody else in the room. So the entire premise of this weekend is we want people to join us and we want to share the little journey with a back of the napkin idea. Now that back of the napkin idea could have been something that you've been thinking about for 3 years and you've talked to every single person you know about it, but you've not done anything to start that as a business. In my book, and most every other person, starting a business, and that would disqualify you and we wouldn't want you to share the idea, is if you've taken any steps to generate $1 or more of revenue, legally. There's a key word, legally there.
If you've done it illegally, it's okay.
Illegally.
Don't worry about it.
We're not in Colorado. I don't know about that. Or Las Vegas. So if you've officially incorporated your business, that's one step too far. Because that means that you probably have a bank account, you probably have some legal documents somewhere. That means that you probably have equity with somebody else. That's one step too far. Questions on that? And you can ask questions and we'll debate about it as a group we can select. If you've started on it, meaning you've prototyped, you've drawn it out, that's totally okay. Because that means that you're taking your idea and you're putting it on a piece of paper. But if you've taken that first step to take $1 or more from someone else, bank account, legally filed with the Secretary of State, you've got a federal tax ID number, you've discussed equity terms, you've got business partners with signed contracts with said legal entity, that is way too far.
What about squatting on a domain?
As a group, what do we want to decide?
That's fine. That's fine.
Patent, you've had to spend money to file a patent. That's way too. You've had to spend thousands of dollars to file a patent.
$400.
To file it yourself.
Non-professional, yes.
Okay, so
About 30 hours worth of copy.
yeah, so this is one of those awkward ones.
But I use my own income that I make from the Army, so technically it's a hobby.
So it's a hobby. So what do you all say?
Yeah,
So
it's a hobby.
have you licensed it?
I haven't licensed anyone.
So you just took the drawings, the
Yeah.
took the drawings, the
I'm
description.
gonna use it myself for at least a year, and then I'll license. But I haven't done that yet, like I said.
Are you the only person involved?
At the moment?
Okay.
Yes.
So you're the patent filer, the only
Right.
You're the patent filer, author, soul, everything.
Okay. What do you all think as a group?
No problem.
No problem. Good?
It's good.
Okay. Domain, you're out $12.
Right.
So, and if, okay. Any other questions about how far is too far?
Yes. All right.
I didn't ask for a power clap, but thank you.
The product that I'm pitching is, I have been an active, I do this on a farm, but I want to bring it urban. I have never taken $1 on building a system for anyone. I have educated.
Like you've trained other people how to do it?
Yes, but it's not the actual pitch. The actual pitch is something down the road that, you know, you can learn for yourself, but I don't have active accounts for this.
Have you ever had an active account for it?
Not for this, no.
So it's a total new idea. It's a spin-off of something else you've done in another previous life on the farm. You want to bring it to urban life?
That is correct.
Okay. So what do we?
Absolutely no problem. So it's a new business model. They used it personally.
Yeah.
It's an open technology. They don't have to get it from me.
So personally, on their own farm or?
Well, the people that I've educated, they have, you know, built their own system. I just give them basically a few hands-on things to better make them successful when they do.
Did they write a check out to a business or do you use an individual?
No, they did not write a check out to the business.
You taught them this?
You taught them how to connect widgets together or something like that.
I taught them what they needed to know to produce for themselves.
What do we think as a group?
Absolutely no problem.
Yeah. Say if he's trying it out in a new market, then it's a new idea, right?
Yep. The new business model. Yeah. Had to have these discussions because one that was in a competition in the November event, we had to disqualify because they didn't disclose to us that they'd been working on it for a year, had revenue, had an equity term sheet with other people that weren't at the event. That's the reason I don't want that to happen at your all's first event. Then people get mad at me, and I like people to be mad at me. I'll just be honest. Any other questions about what's a valid idea or how far along the stage?
What happens if you have an idea? It needs to be researched enough to know if there's not another patent on it. You could go to the Sunday pitch, doesn't matter. You're not quite there, you're still in this early sprouting period, so it's it's okay, then you'll validate it later to see if there's patents or.
Yeah. So I mean, I've seen plenty of these ideas where somebody's like, oh, we need the Uber for drugstore delivery, so prescriptions and allergy medicines and all this other stuff. And I just had to bite my tongue and be like, they've not heard of Postmates. And then throughout the weekend, they do find out that there's competitors in the space. Someone has a patent or copyright or something on it. So,
It's an outcome.
yeah, that's an outcome. That's fine.
So wait, so you can actually copyright deliverings?
No, I'm just saying,
Oh, okay, I was
it could be.
saying-
You,
So your question is, you have an idea that you've not done research, or you feel that you do more research?
I just think it ought to be said, before you put a lot of effort into something.
Yeah.
You know, you're putting all this hour, make sure you kinda, do a little research to say, by, doing an internet search, that there's no, product that you're gonna go against.
Oh.
Because that's just gonna hinder your success as a group.
We'll do that Saturday
I
afternoon.
mean, I'm just.
But-
asking.
If it's better, then it's okay.
You could just
I mean, you look at
I just wanted to
Starbucks.
bring that up.
Yeah, I mean, that's a valid concern that there is an opportunity for us to select work with an idea and then somebody does have a patent for it. Odds of us being able to go that far into and find a patent lawyer and all that other stuff, or us actually infringe on it this weekend.
I just wanted to know
Yeah.
your insight on that. I can see there's a long ways to go.
Oh yeah, this is the first step. And if for some reason you all create something that the first hour infringes on somebody's patent, I'll be shocked if you do that. I've yet to have that happen. Not saying it couldn't
You
happen.
don't wanna make another phone, that's not a good thing.
No, you can do. You'd be surprised what people do. Okay, questions on how far is too far?
I'm trying, I'm trying to make sure I understand. Is this Sunday's pitch, or this pitch?
This is your 60-second tonight. Hey guys, I think we should work as a small subset of this group on this idea. So we're gonna share 60 seconds, and then everybody's gonna vote on what ideas they like the best, and whatever ideas collectively we as a group decide, hey, this one has more merit than this one, then those are the ideas that'll go forward until Sunday. And we'll hustle all weekend long.
And I'm just, because, I mean, I've had a business for years, then revamped, and so I've been trying to figure out where do I go with it now. So it's just an idea, although the structure is there to support it.
So if it's a total new business, so if it's just, hey, you're charging people for websites a one-off $10,000, but now you're moving to a model where it's monthly, probably not what you want to do because it's too closely related. You're doing that on a daily basis. This event is not for you to help people to be business counselors. It's to try something new that is literally back of the napkin. You thought about it in the shower this morning. You thought about it every time that you drive to Atlanta's airport, which apparently is really close, except they flew me 12 minutes in the plane down here.
It's so much better.
Yeah, which was, I was like, wow, this is interesting. But if it's too close, you gotta make a clear delineation that, hey, this is something totally new. It succeeds or fails on its own. Any other questions? Because this is sort of the most awkward conversation we have to have this weekend.
So if I can add to that, the reason is you might end up coming up with something insanely great by Sunday, and you might have 4 other people on your team that had nothing to do with it really, if it was all your thing. The reason you don't want to come back and go, okay, here's this $1 billion idea that I've now got to share with 4 other people. Just as a very blunt example. Maybe you want to, maybe you don't want to. So you just want to make sure that you're not tying up anybody else's assets while you're here this weekend, essentially.
So don't share your ideas.
No, it's not that you shouldn't, it's just be thoughtful, be aware that you're going to be sharing your idea now with a bunch of other people that you effectively don't really know. We want these great things, I'm not trying to squash your squelch, but just be aware that if this is a business that you've been doing and already have investment in, you're potentially inviting others to come along with you. So it may or may not be what you want. Just say.
Yeah, so just be aware we're supportive. We just, and we don't want people that are going to join your idea or team. If you do really have something and you're not disclosing it right now or asking questions and it goes forward, and you've already got an equity sheet and you've got business partners and investments, and then you straggle along people for this entire weekend, that's not fair to them. And that's really what we want to avoid is this somebody being taken advantage of, hey, I liked your idea so much, I devoted my entire weekend and I hustled and I put my connections in there. And then whenever we say, all right, there's actually some traction here. We got 40 people interested in paying for us. We got $200 in revenue. This is actually something and get something done, to his point earlier. And then you're like, nope, I got it covered. And you just use somebody the entire weekend? That's not fair, guys. And that's what we want to avoid. So back of the napkin ideas, it'll either succeed or fail at the end of the weekend, 2 weeks after, a month after, but just be fair.
Like outside of the pitch straightforward, if you have something you started on, like a platform that you know could benefit everybody here, is there any way that could we have a chance to let everybody know and kind of spread the word about that?
Like a Slack or a tool like Slack?
I created a education platform, right? And we're right in the beginning stages of it. We started advertising for that. But the route that we're going with this is full education resources, contacts, whatever it may be, for everybody in the room that they can use. So at the very end of the weekend, is there any way that per se I could get up and tell everybody about that, have them go to the Facebook page and check it out? Maybe?
Yeah, let's save that for the closing part of it, because we'll have some time while the judges are deliberating. If people want to make a community announcement about the next event or something like that, that could be a good opportunity.
Sweet.
Fair?
Awesome.
Okay, any other questions about something you've started on? After this, it's pretty easy. So, you also, somebody will say, you know what, I come up with 3 ideas a day every time I'm in the shower. Can I go ahead and just share one? And you know what I'm going to tell them? No. I need you to pick your best idea and share that in 60 seconds or less. You don't get an opportunity to pitch again. You don't get to pitch 17 ideas because you're that creative. One idea, your best idea, let's cut it in. And then some people say, you know what, I really like my idea. It wasn't selected in the peer voting. I still want to continue on with it. What do I do? You are allowed to continue on, but there's so much work that goes on for this weekend. We ask that you build a team around it. And a team is not an individual. It's not a couple of people. It's 3 or more. So if you can convince 3 or more, 2 other people, including yourself, to join that idea and rally around it, that's totally okay. But you can't work on it solo. You can't work on it with one person. You gotta have 3 or more. And again, the big thing, what we're gonna be doing this weekend, you can apply it to whatever team that you're on. So if your idea is not selected, I would encourage you, pick an idea that you see is interesting, couple up with those people, hustle this weekend, because I guarantee you, what we're gonna teach you can be applied to that. It can be applied to something you do next month, a year from now, because your ideas aren't going to stop. If I've learned anything from being around 30 of these events and thousands of entrepreneurs, this isn't your last idea. So take what we're going to teach you, hustle with whatever your next idea is, and please don't leave. Please don't leave. This is one of the most rewarding experiences I've ever had, and I've had some pretty fun experiences in my life. Don't leave. You're robbing yourself of a fun experience to meet a co-founder. You're robbing yourself of the opportunity to learn from other people, engage with coaches and mentors, and you never know what will happen at one of these events and who you'll meet and interact with. And then the last thing that people ask is, hey, you know what, I've got my PechaKucha slide deck that advances after every 5 seconds. Can we go ahead and can we just load that up on your computer, Daniel? And you know what I'm going to tell them? No. 60 seconds. If you've got a prop or an outline, that's cool and everything, but no, you can't take over my computer because it's an old computer. I'm not sure if it'll make it. Questions that we've not covered? Okay. So here's how you give a pitch. There's 4 basic elements that we need you to cover. We need to, 1, tell us who you are, because most of us are strangers in here. So we need to know who you are, the problem that you're solving, how your solution fixes said problem and anything else you know about it, and then what do you need? Do you need a group of developers? Do you need a group of marketers? Do you need somebody that's business savvy? Do you need somebody that's in the banking industry? Something like that. Tell us what you need so that we can be like, hey, I'm a designer, they need a designer, we're gonna be good friends this weekend. So, name, problem, solution, what you need in 60 seconds or less. Any questions on this? It's pretty easy. Y'all want to see an example one?
Yes.
All right. So we've got 1 minute on the timer. Here you go. Good evening, everybody. My name is Daniel Johnson, and today I'd like to share with you a problem that a lot of mothers face. Anytime a mother buys a device for their baby, say a baby carrier or a crib, there's a postcard in that box for them to send back and register with the manufacturer in the event that there's a product recall that threatens their baby's safety. But most mothers, what do? They throw it away and they don't register. I'd like to create a platform, that mother, to capture that information, send it to the manufacturer, and immediately be notified of any recalls, which are publicly known on government websites. But that's not how we make money. We make money because we know a mom just purchased a baby carrier, and by age 2, 16 months later, we can actually start marketing to that mother for additional products. We need coders, developers, designers, and somebody else that wants to solve this problem. Thanks. 60 seconds.
3, 2, 1.
Forgot about that. Problem, name, problem, solution, what you need, and anything else that you want to do. And if you want to take that idea, by all means take it, because it's a $1 billion industry. I want somebody to do that one day. So, questions on the pitch? Is anybody really nervous? Don't be nervous. This is
Plenty of liquid courage upstairs.
There is liquid courage upstairs. So, that's the last one to do. So, here's what we're going to do. I need the first person to be on deck. So I need the first person that wants to pitch to come over here. Not everybody at once. And I'm going to get the big piece of paper. You all ready?
Restroom break?
Y'all want to take a quick restroom break? You can practice your pitch?
Yes.
All right.
Real quick, before he leaves, I just want to give him 2 pieces of information. So can I have everybody's attention real quick? We're gonna get 2 cell phones here, right? So try not to bother David. David's gonna be busy doing a lot of things. You can call him, but for anything that is non-startup weekend related, like you see that there's a problem with the bathrooms, or there's something that we need to take an issue, and something got spilled, or it needs to be cleaned, or we need to take out the garbage, call me. I've got the numbers for all the people to call to handle all that kind of stuff. If it's startup weekend related kind of stuff, call David. I'm gonna leave this here. You don't have to take the picture. I'll just put it up here on the top. But
You might want to take the picture in case you're outside and doing a lock behind you.
Yeah, actually that's good.
You might want
And
to have
then
that on your phone.
I want to make sure I got this right. Our hashtags for social media is
Startup Weekend Columbus, Georgia, because there's actually another one in Ohio going on.
and then CMI Startup, and then Startup Life.
Yeah, we don't want to give those Ohioans
Live the life.
credit.
So feel free to call. By the way, if you call my number, you'll go, who explain it doesn't have voicemail? Me, I do not have voicemail.
Good for you.
You don't need it. You can text me, you can call me. If I want to call you back, I will. And if I don't call you back, don't take it personally. Just text me.
It's Hector is the ID and the password. All right, 5-minute bathroom break. I've got 8:35. Come back at 8:40. We'll have some fun. Any dealing? What do you mean? So let's say for instance, what's not is, people vote on it, oh, this is someone that you're still going to proceed. So keep in mind two things. One, it's going to, you're going to have people that are going to help you probably process things out really early. And they may want to continue on after this weekend. And they may want to continue your you've got to be aware of that. It wouldn't be fair to say, hey, I want you all to work free on my idea, but come this weekend, I'm not gonna have anything to do with it, and then you take all the research and everything, and you can have the new year, that's just not fair. But if, you know what, there's some interesting people that are doing some interesting things, and they join up, all right, you may find a co-founder on this process. Odds are people, after a month or two, the idea will die out. You just send an email, hey guys, we all have fun and everything, I'm gonna pursue, but there's no extra to anybody.
Yeah, I saw that.
Twitter or something like that, but I have no really good. I'm just gonna learn. If I get an idea, but the only idea I have, I'd rather. That's fine. Okay. So I can't go. Well, might be surprised.
Get off the ground?
Get off the ground. Yeah, it's different for, I mean, it's different in different means. I used to raise money before 2008, and I call it like, before 2008, after, it's like, totally different. Exactly, so, we were raising about $1 million players company, like, not all one company.
Right,
You know, in a month for companies, and then in 2008 came around, it just was like, stopped. And then after that point, you can still like funding now. The whole thing is developed different. The way you can
There's gonna be a timer there.
I mean, there's so much, I mean, I can tell you the transition.
All right, 1 minute warning.
Over my years in business, I've seen so much work.
You know, I hope that you stay engaged with us. I'd love to have some real. They need role models.
Yes, yes.
Classical white people too.
Exactly. Yeah, no, that's true. I mean, and I think it's about, I didn't have, I started.
Right.
I didn't have somebody. I had these kids that came out of college, they came to me and they said, yeah, graduated, somebody gave them like $250,000. No experience, no nothing. I'm like,
How does that happen? Sign me up, please.
they just got two, and then they.
How's it going?
Good.
Scary.
And then they had $50,000 left over and really created something for the big. Because the first two, but if they win on something, anyway, that's why you don't hear kids fresh out of college with no kind of $250,000.
Whatever your ideas, come right down.
Oh, I have some.
Where's your deck?
No, so, here's what you're gonna do.
It's much easier like this. Just less ceremony.
I could see it running like what I had used to be, where people are, submitted,
There's one in Tampa Bay doing beverages in May.
Water in there.
It's really good. Something that I think everybody needs for sure. Okay. She got you some.
What's the sauce?
Where's my prop? Okay. I was about to say. Okay.
No, I really like my hair gets messed up. I got it.
I like it. It's
You need a teleprompter? Huh? You need a teleprompter?
You said a teleprompter? Oh man, shoot. I know, right? We gonna make it happen. Look it up. Y'all ready to pitch it?
See that blue line?
Yeah.
He doesn't even stand on the blue line, so it's like over here.
I know. Yeah, we should tell him now before he's done. Or we could
See if it means. But if he just stands over the blue line, it's fine. What?
So we can talk about it.
earlier, but I think I
It's pretty easy. They want you to participate. And then hopefully organize one if you can. And then after that, it's just putting together a team. It's a pretty fun event. All right, do we have everybody back?
All right, there's a blue line there, sir.
All right.
See the tape on the floor?
So we have everybody.
Stand there so you
Am I back?
can be in the camera.
Oh, I'm not.
Oh, you're not
Is this
gonna
yours?
play?
No,
Not yet.
not yet.
So when you do?
Okay.
Okay, do we have everybody back? Actually, we're missing a couple people. Are they out in the hallway?
Frank and Kat went upstairs to get some first on.
They need some adult beverages? Okay, so here's what I would encourage you to do, is that you're gonna hear a lot of ideas, and it's going to be, some of the ideas may start being convoluted in your head. So if you've got something to write down with, I would say, make sure that you say the person's name and then what their idea is, and if there's anything of interest in it. This is gonna go by really, really fast. And you're only gonna see the name of it on there, like mom recall notice on the side wall, not the entire pitch or anything like that. So you have to be able later on to remember what people were pitching. So are we gonna wait for those people, or are we gonna make it? Okay, so I need the first person to come over here. Is that yours, Kat? You wanna rewrite it and make it bigger?
And this is the sheet that I'm holding up?
Yeah, so
Oh,
tear off
yes.
that sheet of paper.
Yes, I will.
And if you can write it a little bit bigger so people can see it.
You need a marker?
Do you have one that's not dry erase?
That one's not dry erase.
No, that's pretty. Okay.
Okay, so she's writing her name big.